first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 29, Fields. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Fields into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Boy, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a first down as well.
1st and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Mahomes now to throw. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That last throw moves him past 27,989 yards for his career. So that means he moves ahead of the blonde bomber, Terry Bradshaw, on the all-time list.
And boy, he loved to throw it downfield, didn't he? That's why he was the blonde bomber. Remember, he'd throw it downfield to John Stallworth and Lynn Swann. It was gorgeous. Big throws, big plays. Terry Bradshaw.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. On play action, it's Mahomes. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
On third down, here's Harris. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Taken right around the 44. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Now, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get...
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack. Put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Following the fumble recovery, Fields looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harris. 3 yards the gain there, second down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second down at 7. Fields. Short little throw to Ebron. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
8 yards to go on second down. Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
46 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go, D. All day, defense.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. He'll find Schwartz complete right side. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there on the catch and run.
One of the first big plays we've seen in this football game, and could that be the play that gets this game jump-started? It's taken a while as both teams have tried to settle in. Maybe now the pace will accelerate.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. That time Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Kick here is good. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points. Not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes looking deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
In your face. Hey, 43, 15.
Mahomes going to throw. He's going to let it go again. This is intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Steelers will take over here just shy of the 30. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Fields throw there, hauled in by Claypool. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Back to throw, Fields. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning them into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing, because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
So we've come upon halftime here in KC with the Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Wide, get wide. Check it. Yellow. We
Now Edwards-Helaire. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd and 7. Here's Mahomes to throw. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Here's Sam Martin now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll run on 1st down. Harris. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. And let's check on the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Here's Fields. Flushed out right. Open man completes it to Claypool. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Hook up a 15 yards there. And that'll make it a 2nd down. From just shy of midfield. Fields. Claypool with another catch. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. Second down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 85 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching. Watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
You'll forgive me if I get excited about what we just saw there, won't you? I know I'm supposed to be neutral here, but those were terrific plays back-to-back defensively. They know what the mission is. They've got to force a punt here if they want to have a chance to win the game.
They absolutely do. Steps